Well, good evening. This is Hound Dog Steve coming to you on the 17th of March, and that is a Saturday evening. It is also St. Patrick's Day, so I'm going to wish you a happy St. Patrick's Day. And, well, you know, you can talk in an Irish accent because this is not cultural appropriation. Oh, and the Irish don't seem to mind, Lord loving Jesus, Mary, Mother of God. What the hell is going on here? Sorry about that. That was just the leprechaun coming out in me after I saw this little joke. This is Joke of the Week. This is Justin Trudeau and his tickle box, and of course the caption is, "Damn it, Dave, you were supposed to be washing him." "I just went to the washroom." And of course this is after our Prime Minister went over to India and couldn't resist dressing up, as it was said, more than you would for an Indian wedding, and to basically be addressing your Prime Minister as a little leprechaun clown in his own tickle box. Well, that should tell you what we think of our Prime Minister here in Canada. Okay, next story. This is an interesting little story. Unlinked, this is the council, and they have basically got together and they voted unanimously to use taxpayers' money to block comments on Facebook that were of a negative nature about the council, and also to levy fines on people who left negative comments about the council. And where is this? It's a small Newfoundland town called Witless Bay, and I would say that all of these councillors are witless. And this seems to have began a few years ago, where a woman called Lorna Yard took the deputy mayor to court, saying that he had run for office whilst he was not a resident in the area. Anyway, it went to Newfoundland Supreme Court. Lorna Yard was found to be correct, and he stepped down from his seat, but then he did buy a house in the area, claimed residence and ran again as mayor, got in, and then the entire council was acclaimed, which means that nobody ran against them. And of course that is a cautionary tale. This is what happens when you don't run against people to get your voice heard in council. Anyway, one of the new council's first decisions was a unanimous vote to rescind the town's bylaws, policies and procedures manual. Okay, this is known as the procedural bylaw, and this is a negotiated document as to how the council is going to conduct itself and operate. It was adopted by the former council, which had focused heavily on establishing rules regarding transparency, accountability, land use, conflict of interest, harassment and employee ethics. The town did not previously have a cohesive set of policies. And so this just goes to show you what can happen when you get a rogue council taking over and shutting down the whole idea of commenting. Well, Witless Bay, good luck with that one. Next story. In a policy change, Google plans to ban Bitcoin ads. Okay, this is pretty draconian. The company's decision comes after Facebook announced in January that it would ban all ads for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in order to stop misleading and deceptive promotions. Together, Google and Facebook account for the majority of advertising on the internet in terms of revenue. The short announcement on Google's advertising policies page did not specify why Google planned to turn away that advertising. Okay, but here's the interesting bit. The company said the ban also applied to content related to cryptocurrencies, including but not limited to initial coin offerings, cryptocurrency exchanges, cryptocurrency wallets, and cryptocurrency trading advice. Okay, so they are going to shut down every video that mentions Bitcoin on YouTube. Like, what is it? This company, Google, is the company from hell to shut down videos I mean, this is a complete affront and attack on freedom of speech. And yes, I know Google is a private company, and I guess it's well within their rights to do that, and we signed the terms of use when we took on our YouTube channels. But this is absolutely outrageous, and it will be interesting to see. I mean, this is actually going to clear the decks once we hit June, because I'm sure all of you have typed in a search for Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies of late, as they seem to be all in the news, and you will see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of channels focused around everything from alt currencies, cryptocurrencies, blockchain, box mining, box carding, all this kind of stuff. So this is pretty draconian, Google. And I'll give you another little insight to Google. Now, I have, of course, a small business, and you know, when you locate your business on a map, a Google map, you can tag that and claim ownership. And as soon as you do that, Google immediately starts phoning you. Now, I have been getting basically 10 to 15 calls a day, all robo-dialed. Okay, and they only connect you to an operator if you go through the press 1, press 2 process. And if you say you want to stop the calling, the operators just immediately hang up on you. So anyways, a friend of mine who is in the same situation, he finally did get through to a teller who was prepared to talk to him, and she said that they were going to put him back on auto dial, and the whole point is that you would end up paying Google to stop them from calling you. And trust me, it is absolutely invasive. It's made owning a phone a really disgusting affair. When that phone rings, I don't want to go. I'm just ignoring all of the phone calls that I'm getting. Luckily, my phone shows where they're from. They're usually from the United States, but I've had them as far away as Bombay and Bangladesh, Manchester in England. I mean, Google must control the wires so much that it is sending these calls through any exchange that's open. I've even had 738 numbers. That's my local exchange. Okay, so how Google is managing to scoot through there, I guess it's an abandoned number temporarily waiting for assignment, and they grab it, use it, call you, and you think that it is a local phone call coming in. So Google, you have become absolutely disgusting. You're too big. You need to be broken up. There used to be a Combines Act and to stop this kind of thing, and Microsoft was broken up because it was controlling too much of the market share with its operating systems. So yes, we definitely need to do something about this. I don't know whether we need to get a content producers union together. I've heard that mentioned before, but somehow Google has to be put on a leash. Those are my thoughts anyway. I just love this story. OJ fears he has a brain disorder. And there he is. There's his little smiling face. He just got released from jail. And, well, OJ, it's a real pity that you could have told us earlier. And he said, I get concerned, Simpson told the news. I do recognize that probably affects you in short-term memory more than in long-term. I know with me, I have days I can't find words. I literally cannot find words or the name of somebody I know. And the word somebody is hyphenated. And of course that is a little irony, because they were looking for somebody connected to O.J. Simpson. Next story. This is a little story about... I read this. This is a review of Ricky Gervais's new comedy special with Netflix called Humanity. And the reviewer obviously doesn't like him. It says, in Ricky Gervais's new comedy special, he addresses critic backlash against his style of humour, saying, if you can laugh in the face of adversity, you're bulletproof. In comedian's first stand-up broadcast in 7 years, he asserts, I don't care about backlash, but clearly he does. And this is by John Doyle. And he says Gervais's first stand-up special in 7 years, Humanity, streaming on Netflix from Tuesday, veers from bracing humour to withering contempt for the false pieties of the entertainment industry. Here's the thing, if you troll Ricky Gervais, he will troll you back with venom. So, of course, as happens with a little thing called the Streisand effect, because he wrote an awful review, you know, I went straight over to Netflix and I watched it, and you know what? It was pretty damn funny. Okay, I like Ricky Gervais. I think he has a great sense of humour, and I think that he really came across as very edgy. The audience loved it. You can tell that they were right with him on this comedy special. And so I would also suggest you go over to Netflix and take a look at Ricky Gervais's new comedy special called Humanity. Okay, well that just about wraps it up. I am going to be making another video tomorrow, a little bit more serious stuff, maybe a little bit more political stuff thrown in, but that's it for this evening. So please, if you liked this video, please like and subscribe below, ring that little bell so you get all of my updates, and in the meantime you have a great St. Patrick's Day, don't drink too much green beer, and we'll be talking real soon. See you now. Bye.